precautions has always existed in many countries against earthquakes. Many people have been vulnerable to them, many deaths occurred, and the disastrous side effects, differentiating from the damages to the industrial centers to the rudimentary migrations, have been the strawberry atop the cake. Those effects also include the creation of tsunamis due to the strong earthquakes, and the fact that their damages are far higher than the earthquake itself, making many countries targets of both earthquakes and tsunamis, which is pretty risky. Another effect is the volcanic eruptions happening depending on the volcanic activity level of the earthquake vulnerable region. If the region consists of many volcanoes, then those earthquakes have an immense chance of eruption, and if this chance becomes a reality, then the damage of the earthquake nearly triples. Many regions in the world are in earthquake zones, and our region has been one of those regions that are at risk of earthquakes. The main reason behind the making of this video in the first place is to promulgate awareness about the recent earthquake that happened at our doorstep. There was immense destruction of houses in our homeland, Diyarbakir, and even a whole region collapsed, which was called Gadaria, and many people died. This also proved the vulnerability of the living areas of the inhabitants, since many of the slums collapsed, and their rubbles damaged the lifestyle of the people visibly, causing many deaths by themselves. Many promising projects in the region were proved to be not prone to earthquakes, and this lack of stable base in the cities ended up with various negative effects. Many hospitals were not able to meet the requirements since they lacked enough resources and capacity for the overpopulated region, and they were numerically too less, meaning they would never be able to do such a thing, which is the main responsibility of them in the first place. With the entities here not being able to fit the needs properly, the visible damages made to our region are not being repaired as it is seen apparently. The earthquakes are still happening constantly, with a recent, but a weak earthquake happening in the Turkish province of Kayseri. These earthquakes were not just apartments that ended up with being even more disastrous than the slums. Many educational institutions, including schools, were closed for approximately a month in our country, but even in some more damaged cities such as Hatay and Kahramanmaraş, the date was extended to 2 months. In terms of the death toll, survivors that lost their homes were struggling to obtain financial aid, since the lack of road infrastructure ended up with damages in the transportation process and obstructed the transportation of the humanitarian aid awaiting to be given to those survivors. This earthquake is now considered the worst disaster in the region in the last 100 years, and it will never be forgotten that it happened in one of the most populated, infrastructure lacking, and poor regions of the Turkish Republic. Today, there is an expectation of an earthquake in the Marmara region of Turkey. This might end up being far more damaging for the country, as unlike this earthquake, the Marmara region consists of a quarter of the whole national GDP, with only Istanbul comprising a GDP of $395 billion itself, which is a notable part of the $860 billion worth GDP of Turkey. As the damages of the earthquake in Turkey show us the vulnerability of the living spaces, it is easy to tell the humanitarian aid requirement exists here. You could send help to people that need help in our region. It helps them to solve the problems there. As always, thank you for your endless support. We would have never been able to be motivated this much without you. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and have a nice day.